According to the Centers for Disease Control, smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the U.S. More people die from tobacco use than HIV, drug and alcohol use, auto accidents, suicides, and murders combined. And what I would like to do today is to convince you, my audience, to quit smoking. As far back as I can remember, my parents always smoked. They smoked in the house, they smoked outside the house, they smoked in the car, they even smoked after dinner at the table. As a kid, I didn't realize this was anything abnormal. It's something I just thought everybody did. And I had no idea what the actual effects were of this until I was about 12, when my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer. I had to watch her endure the disease, and then all of the treatments had followed for almost a year. And that was a very trying time. But she pulled through, she stopped smoking, and she lived on for another 18 years. This is something that's always stuck with me. I've always felt very strongly about the smoking issue, and I'm here today to try to persuade you to stop smoking. To do that, I'll first discuss the financial and health costs of smoking, the benefits to quitting smoking, and then I'd like to go just touch on a little bit on some ways to stop smoking. To start with, let's go over the health and financial costs of smoking. As smokers, you're at a higher risk of developing a lot of diseases, cancers, heart disease, and other respiratory ailments. But the toxins in cigarettes aren't just affecting you, they also affect those around you as well. The Surgeon General recognized all the way back, as far back as 1972, that secondhand smoke actually affects more than just the smoker themselves. And currently, those exposed to secondhand smoke are 20 to 30% more likely to develop lung or coronary diseases than those who aren't exposed to it at all. As for the financial drawbacks to it, in April of 2009, the federal government raised the tax on a pack of cigarettes to $1.01 per pack, which caused the total price for a pack of cigarettes in New York City to rise to $9, which is the highest in the nation. Now, for a pack-a-day smoker, that's about $270 a month that they're spending just on cigarettes. Now, there's also the insurance issues, or the insurance that's also a financial concern. The insurance companies know that if you're a smoker, you're going to have more health needs, and your life expectancy is going to be lower, so they charge accordingly. Now that I've gone over some of the cost of smoking, I'd like to go over some of the benefits of quitting smoking. The American Cancer Society says quitting smoking can benefit you immediately, which is within, say, the first year, and then there's also some long-term, from 1 year on to 15 years. The immediate kind of obvious side effects or benefits are, one, your breath starts to smell better. Your clothes, once you wash them, the smell goes away. And then your sense of smell and your sense of taste also return. Within 12 hours of your last cigarette, your blood pressure will drop down to normal non-smoker levels, and the carbon monoxide level in your blood will also drop down to normal non-smoker levels. In the first 3 months, your lung functions will increase and your circulation will improve. Within 9 months, your lung functions will be back to near normal levels, and you'll be better able to fight off diseases more effectively. Long term, after a year of smoking, your risk of heart disease is reduced by 50%. At 5 years, your risk of a stroke is that of somebody who's never smoked. At 10 years, your risk of dying from cancer is about 50%. There's still a risk there, but it's much lower. And at 15 years, your risk of heart disease are pretty much those that of those who had never smoked. As you can see, there are many benefits to quitting smoking. And now that I have hopefully convinced you to stop smoking, I'd like to go over a couple of ways to help kick the habit. The American Cancer Society states that cigarette addiction is both a physical and mental, a physical and mental addiction. So both of those must be looked at. For the physical addiction, that's the nicotine. So it's the most powerful thing in there that keeps people physically addicted to that. But there's ways of combating that. There's nicotine replacement therapies such as gum, lozenges, patches, those kind of things. And they can help you, deal with the symptoms without all the toxins involved with cigarettes. But you still need to deal with some of the mental triggers that make you want to have a cigarette. Most smokers, when they get up in the morning, it's the first thing they do is reach for a cigarette. Get in the car, grab a cigarette. Go out for a drink, they want to smoke. So you have to be very cognizant of those things, and you have to make that conscious decision. Okay, I'm not going to smoke. So it's something you really have to work on. You may have to enlist, and you should enlist your friends and family. And if they're true friends and you have a good family, they'll support you in that. It's not impossible to stop smoking, but it is very difficult. You have to treat both the physical and mental addictions. But if you have the right support system, you can do that. I've heard many smokers say how they love to smoke, but I don't think they really take into account the serious repercussions of that decision. Not only does smoking affect them and their health, but it also affects those around them. I also don't think they've calculated the financial cost to smoking. I don't know about you, but I can think of way better ways to spend $270 a month. There are a number of benefits to quitting smoking. Some are immediate, some are more long-term, but there are no benefits to continuing smoking. While it's understood nicotine is a powerfully addictive drug, there's ways to combat that, but you also have to deal with the mental triggers that make you want to have a cigarette. I hope I've persuaded you to at least consider stopping smoking and take the first steps to do so. Your body will thank you, your family will thank you, and hey,